Welcome back to the channel. We're on a brand new bike. I'm 2 hours away from home and I'm riding it home. Hopefully we make it. Yes, I am 2 hours away from home. Just over, well, at this point I'm now an hour and a half from home, 68 miles. I've been on the road for a bit. But just been thinking about how I wanted to talk about my new purchase. Hopefully you can hear me because the tires that are on this are aggressive and the front is a little worn down, so it's probably going to need replaced right away, right out of the bat. I'm going to tell you that. Other than that, the modifications on this bike I do believe are bark busters, risers, the Cherbus tank, larger jets, an aftermarket muffler, which you can probably hear a little bit of. It sounds really good, actually. Anyways, he's got a windshield on it. He's got a bag on the back. I mean, basically it's a few little modifications that every DR650 owner does. Oh, I probably glazed completely past that point. This is a 2015 DR650. If some of you have been watching my channel, you know recently in South Dakota I went to the Get On ADV Fest presented by Revzilla, and I test rode a couple of adventure bikes, and I ran into a wonderful subscriber there named Dan, and he actually let me take his personal DR650. He was riding there at the event and he let me take it and test ride it. And I gotta say, I was instantly impressed. It left an impression on me. Because I had ridden the Pan Am, and that was a great bike, and I have ridden a few other bikes. But for what I was looking for, a couple of people kept saying I should just get a Royal Enfield Himalayan. And those are not bad bikes either, but I wanted something lighter. And a little more capable, actually, too. So, if you've never ridden a Royal Enfield Himalayan, they weigh about 436 pounds stock. That's no crash protection, no luggage, nothing. They have a fairly low ground clearance, but it's not bad. I mean, they can go a lot of places. They have about 7 inches of shock travel, front and rear. Compared to the DR, that has so many years of parts and people working on them, and it's so widely available. It weighs 366 pounds in its stock form. Now this has, I believe you said it was like a 5.3 or 5.5. I can't remember how big of a gas tank this is. So right there I'm hauling around, what, an additional, we'll call it 25 pounds. We'll be gracious. So that's probably pushing the bike up just under 400 pounds. But I'm okay with that. That freaked me the hell out. Because even though this is now, you know, just over a 5-gallon tank, with the Himalayan, that being, I think that was even like a 4.8. I was going to bring around, you know, extra fuel possibility, but I don't know, these bikes have such good range. Do I really need to bring extra fuel all the time? Probably not. Probably not. But I just like the idea of this starting out at a lower weight compared to what the Himalayan was. On top of that, this bike can go 70, 80 miles an hour on the highway. The Himalayan cannot. I have attested to that multiple times. When we got it serviced, it actually got re-flashed with an updated, I don't know, engine programming. It did pick up some power then. It picked up some power getting broken in. but it's still at 70 miles an hour. That bike is not enjoyable. When I took Dan's out in South Dakota, I did 75 miles on the highway, one-handed like I was now. And I've even had this up to 70 miles an hour, and it felt pretty well stable, even though the front tire is a little worn out. Did this guy just park? I don't know what the hell is going on. And I'm stuck behind this guy too. Anyways, because the tire is kind of iffy, I didn't feel comfortable taking the actual interstate home doing 75 miles an hour. So it's a beautiful day in Ohio. The high today was 80. It's already starting to cool off, but it's already 5 o'clock in the afternoon. It took almost three and a half hours to go through and get the title for this, the plates and everything. Not to mention, it was a 2.5 hour drive up this morning, and now I'm riding it home around 2.5 hours. So this has been a long day. Yeah, but it's a perfect day to do this. I'm really enjoying it. This guy is kind of giving me a conniption though. If there is some place to pass him, that'd be great. I'm going to shut this off until I get past him. Anyways, as I was saying, as you can probably tell, I've been looking at DRs for quite a while. I mean, I had quite a few bikes on my list actually. I really did consider the new KTM 390, but that bike seems more like kind of like a pavement adventure bike. I don't know. It's got mag wheels. It's got the horsepower. It can do the highway. It's not as dirty as I was looking for, and it's still a relatively new bike. I wanted something that was a little bit more rough and tumbly like this bike. It's just got a lot of support. It can do the distance. It's a lot out there for it. I like that. With the modifications that the previous owner did to this, which actually he didn't even do them, the original owner did. So the previous owner bought this bike, has owned it for about 3 years, and only put about 2,000 miles on it. And he said he never even went off-roading. So I guess in the last 2 to 3 years the bike may have been a little neglected, so I probably got a little bit of work to do ahead of myself on replacing some older parts. He did, however, say he is the one that did the larger jet kit, and he also had the clutch replaced because he thought it felt like it was sleeping, but he wasn't sure, but he went ahead and replaced it. I'll take it. New clutch. Cool. So even with all the modifications that have been done to the bike, I would have done damn near the same modifications. I really like how this thing looks. I like the color. It's the tank I wanted, that I can see the fuel inside. I even like the windshield. Like, seriously, this is everything I really like. I got a horse and buggy up here. Boy, I really hope this audio is coming through okay, because it is quite windy. I love the sound of it, actually. It sounds really good. I'm gonna go, well, I got an hour and 12 minutes left. I've been talking to you guys for 20 minutes. Might not be 20 minutes in this video, but I've been talking for 20 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and road trip it home, and when we get home I'll kind of go over the parts, the overall condition of the bike, and talk about what I think I'm going to replace or what I'm going to improve upon. So let's enjoy this last 60 miles home. It is the next day. Ended up getting in at home, no problems, thankfully. Went to dinner and then just chilled out with Jess last night. So let's walk through the bike and see what's all done to this. So like I said, we've got windshield bark busters, the Acheribus tank, which the previous owner put on these tank guards off a CBR 1000, which that's that's kind of funny, but I actually did end up using them. My knees hit like right here. That was kind of useful. I thought the front end looked a little funny, and I found out it's because the previous owner also added a front fork brace, so that lifted up the boots from down here. Like I said, this is the tire I rode home on. This is a Tusk. I'm going to see if I can find a replacement for this maybe today, but this thing is shot. It is really bad. The back tire isn't as bad. It's got a little bit of life left. I think I could definitely ride around on it. It's a little flat spotted, but and then it's got an aftermarket muffler. It actually sounds pretty good. Previous owner has a tank bag on here, or sorry, a tail bag. Here's the skid plate. He has some different foot controls, I believe. And the chain definitely needs serviced. Probably gonna scrub that today. Cluster and all. It actually has a RAM mount on here with a charging port on the back. I don't know how to feel about that. I don't know if I'm going to keep this. I kind of am partial to my rock forms, but it did hold my phone all the way home. I just wish it had the net on the back because it's kind of scary. I don't really feel like losing my phone. And then I believe this is the, oh yeah, it says right here, it's the Seat Concepts. Not sure what the seat's called, but it was actually pretty comfortable coming home. Oh, and he gave me a lot of the factory parts, so let me go pull those out of the truck and I'll show you what it all came with. Alright, so some of the parts he gave me was the factory gas tank. Pretty cool color scheme. And then he gave me an additional luggage rack, which I think I'm going to put this luggage rack on, and then the factory seat, which I don't really have any use for. But the luggage rack is a nice little addition. So you can kind of see here, this one's fairly small, and this one much bigger, much wider. So my plan is to run a bigger top bag, I think, because we have quite a few on hand. So I'll probably do that. And then it came with a Wolfman bag, which is pretty nice. I might keep this on here. Oh yeah, and he's got risers down in there too. I'm sure you can see. So I love the stance of it though. I really like it. All right, well, that's my new DR650. I'm excited to go ride it. Until then, take it easy. I'll see you in the next one.